Rachel just addressed the tiff she had with Maria at the rose ceremony, where Maria interrupted Joey before sending Maria home. And it is actually not what you think it is.
What was that about?
Sorry.
What was that about?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Freaking out.
You don't know, but
Sorry.
you asked him to tell me.
Rachel went on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast to share her side of the story.
I wouldn't even call it a tiff. I think we were all so exhausted. We just finished hometowns. It's late at night. You know, these ceremonies can go as long. We don't even know how long it was going to be. So I think it was more emotions are high. And I was the closest to her. And I just asked a simple question. We hugged it out. I don't think there was any ill will in that moment. And, you know, one thing about Maria and I is that we could talk straight to each other. We were just blunt. And that's why we just never really had an issue. I said what I said and she would say what she said. And we moved on. But of course, from an outside perspective, you're not thinking about what's going through my mind, what's going through her mind. So it looks like a tiff, but it wasn't.
I threw plenty of
So not only did Rachel clarify that it wasn't a tiff, but she also expressed the emotions she had after hometowns. Because during hometowns, she found out that her aunt passed away, and she's really close to her dad, and it was her dad's sister. She says it's so easy for people on the outside to judge and downplay her relationship with Joey, because by the end of the experience, she knew she was going home and they had an unspoken understanding that they loved each other and it was a platonic friendship. But Rachel continued on the podcast to say she's so proud of that friendship. And she also weighed in on the drama, saying that she actually didn't take sides. She was always neutral and she was just glad they all made up. Okay, that was my TikTok that I posted recapping that podcast from Rachel on Bachelor Happy Hour. But I also took notes, so I am going to share the rest of the notes from the podcast. So you guys obviously know Rachel. She was on Joey's season, and she was sent home last week. She got third place. So what we learned about Rachel from this podcast is that she was born in Hawaii, and she moved to California at 18, and then she moved to Maine for 2 years, and she said she had a bad relationship there. And she learned a lot of lessons there, and it was really cold. And then she moved to Washington. So she loves to travel, she loves to be independent, and she's kind of a nomad. Her best friend was a huge Bachelor fan and her roommate, and she was the one that nominated her. So Rachel would always read books while her roommate was watching The Bachelor on Monday nights. And she was like, do your thing, girl, do your thing. She just never had an interest in the show. She'd never seen it. Rachel was in nursing school. She is ICU trained. She does trauma nursing, and she's been a travel nurse. Her dad was in the same field, so he would always tell her stories when she was younger about the trauma that he experienced at work, and she just always was calm, and she just knew how to stay calm. So that's how she knew from a young age that she wanted to be in nursing and be in that, situation where things are hectic and people start to panic. She said the jump on that date was high. It was 20 feet. So she really did hurt her jaw when you saw her hurt her jaw on the final episode, her final date with Joey. And she says that she cliff jumps all the time in Hawaii, but the water is usually moving. So for whatever reason, the water in this lagoon in Tulum was just rock solid water, I guess. So she hurt herself. She barely wore makeup on the show. She's just more into natural glam. She really thought she was going home night one. So when she got there, she was like, oh, I'm going home night one. She didn't even know how she got there. It was because her friend nominated her, as I was saying. So she didn't get a chance to talk to him night one. So that's the reason why she thought she was going home. She had no chance to talk to him. And she always felt like she was playing catch up between the other girls who had more opportunities to talk with him earlier on. And she had the lay, when she came night one out of the limo, because she's from Hawaii. And Joey used to live in Hawaii for a couple of years. He's not from Hawaii. So they kind of talked about that getting confused for viewers, because Joey grew up in Pennsylvania, but he moved to Hawaii for a couple years because his uncle lived there. And he played tennis there and taught tennis there. So she said she didn't really feel a spark on night one with Joey, but she was just in awe. And she was just like, okay, I'm here. Let's see what's going on. She says that they do have a really strong friendship, and she's so proud of that. And people are trying to downplay her relationship with Joey because she's just acknowledged that they have such a close friendship, and she's glad that she could be friends with her ex. She knows that her and Joey both gave it their all in regards to their love story. And, she wasn't just kept around until the final three for no reason. So she said that she saw it coming, and she knew that going home, it was an unspoken understanding picking, and she almost didn't go to that rose ceremony, the final 3 one where she was sent home, because she just knew she was going home, but she didn't want to take it away from the other women, Daisy and Kelsey A, because she knows how exciting it is for, the girls to have their names called. And we kind of saw this last year with Gabby, where she knew that Zach was picking Katie, but she didn't want to leave the show and, have Katie not feel like she was chosen. So the girls get really close on The Bachelor, and they sometimes, sit through things not just for the lead, but for the other girls. She says there was so much platonic love there between her and Joey. And I wish that Joe and Serena asked her on the podcast if she thinks that Joey is better with Kelsey or Daisy. I did listen to the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast with Lexi and Maria and some of the other interviews with Jen from the Women Tell All, and it didn't seem like any reporters were asking like what their opinions were on Kelsey and Daisy and the final 2. So I just feel like that was a really missed opportunity. I don't know if the producers or whoever just told the reporters not to ask that because they want to keep the suspense alive and not get any insight, because a lot of these girls probably know who Joey ended up picking and what happened, but maybe they don't. They weren't there, so it's not like they definitely know exactly how it all went down. But I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to not get some of these girls' takes on the final 2 women. So I hope that we hear more in the future about what the other girls in the house thought on the final 2 women. And, I'm sure we'll get that after the finale. But she says in regards to Joey, like I said, there was so much platonic love there. And she gives kudos to Joey for breaking it off and breaking up, because it is harder to break up with someone than being broken up with. And she says at the Women Tell All, when she saw Joey, she was just so excited and calm and just like ready to see him. She said it did hit her like a ton of bricks at the Women Tell All, with just the emotions that she felt, especially when she talked about the online hate that she was getting. Serena did ask Rachel what her takes were on the drama in the house between Sydney, Leia, Maria, and Jess. And I know a lot of people think that Rachel is closer with that group, Sydney, Leia, and Jess, who are kind of like the clique. It's possible that she was close with them, but she didn't make that a point. She didn't actually say that she had any sides in regards to the drama. She says that she was pretty neutral. She wasn't on the group dates when a lot of the drama happened. So she just kind of heard about it, but she wasn't there. And she was always just like, where's Joey? Where's Joey? Like, she just didn't care. She says that sometimes personalities don't always mesh, and she's glad that the girls were able to hug it out in the end. In regards to her tiff that wasn't a tiff with Maria, you kind of just saw that earlier in this video during the TikTok portion. But what I wrote down is that the tiff with Maria, she was exhausted, hometowns were just finished, emotions were high, and she was the closest one to Maria. She found out during hometowns that her aunt passed away, her dad's sister, so she was just really emotional and exhausted, and it was just a real moment where, like you heard in that clip, where her and Maria were just close, and she just asked her about it, and that was it. And, she didn't deserve the hate online that she was getting for simply receiving a rose. This podcast really put a lot of things into perspective, for sure, in regards to Rachel's journey. So she was excited to see Joey at the tell-all. She said it was so calm. She is kind of, like, the energy was calm with Joey. She is kind of taking a step back from dating, just for now, as she's kind of, like, figuring her life out. She wants to do some motivational speaking. She says that her DMs are open, and that, it was just a lot for her, the whole experience, but it was very rewarding, and she's so proud of the friendships that came out of this. And she says, if you want to watch reality TV, you need to know that people are real on reality TV, so just be kind. And her and Serena ended up breaking down over the racism that, contestants on this show experience in the franchise when they are people of color. And, Rachel definitely got the brunt of it. And I feel like this podcast really puts so much things into perspective, because Rachel did not deserve all the backlash that she got. She also did say that she doesn't think she would be a good bachelorette. Like, she just likes who she likes, and she kind of ruled herself out of being the Bachelorette. I know a lot of people think it's going to be Maria or Daisy, but it's not going to be Rachel. Like, she's not even in the question anymore. Just based on the way she answered it, it doesn't seem like she wants to be the Bachelorette. And she said that she could be open to Paradise for sure, but she doesn't think it's happening this year. There's obviously rumors that Paradise is not going to happen this year, and maybe they'll bring it back next year. So, I think it would have been fun to see Rachel, Jen, Maria, whoever on Bachelor in Paradise. But ultimately, I think that Paradise has been going on for so long. So if they pause 1 year, then some of these girls can come back next year, and it will be fun to see a mix of girls from different seasons, because the last few years of Paradise have just kind of been bringing in whoever of night one of just like the most recent Bachelor season, like Zach and Clayton. And I think that Paradise needs to kind of be revamped and have like the all-stars and people who made it a lot farther and people who are definitely like, you know, a name in the franchise and not just people from night one. So I think we'll see Rachel on Bachelor in Paradise the next time they do that, which might not be till 2025. So yeah, that is the recap of Rachel on the Bachelor Happy Hour. And sorry I didn't show my face today, but I'll show it tomorrow on my YouTube channel for sure. I am going to be continuing to watch The Bachelor. The finale is on Monday. And I'm also going to start watching Deal or No Deal Island, which I already started. But you guys should start watching it too, because I'm going to be doing weekly recaps with the weekly interviews with the eliminated contestants on Deal or No Deal Island for the rest of the season. So that will be our new Monday night show. And then on Tuesday, you will see my interview with whoever is eliminated Monday night. So that will start, started last week, this week actually, because I did have on the most recently eliminated contestant on episode 4, which was this week. So guys, you can go catch up on that on Peacock. And I am going to watch Jersey Shore now. Family Vacation. It's going to be a really good episode because Sammy is going to Nashville with all the roomies, and this is going to be the first time that Ronnie is going to be there. Ronnie did go on the show last season when Sammy was back, but Sammy left the house to go get lunch with her boyfriend, and then Ronnie came and just talked to all the roomies and then, you know, went back to his life. So he just made one episode appearance. But now he's going to be invited on the first trip to Nashville with Sammy, and having them in the house together, it's going to be crazy. So I can't wait to see what happens. Okay, well, that's all I have to say for today. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and hit subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.